We're live! Yay!
Hey, we made it.
We made it. So,
See, is that okay?
how's everyone doing?
How is everybody doing?
Hello, everyone. Nice for you guys to join us again on a Friday afternoon. I'm guessing maybe today we have like a lot of viewers, right? Because everybody's at home.
Yeah, everybody's home. Yeah, there's no excuse not to watch now. Well, the difference in our camera quality is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it also has to do with Skype, right? I mean, it's one day we'll have like a raw video source once you get like proper internet download.
Yeah. No, we have fiber connection now. It's
Yeah?
actually pretty good. Yeah. Since about a month or so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Finally part of the real world.
Yeah. So people working at home office, everybody working at home. I work from home all the time, so I'm still working. Yeah, it's same here. I mean, for me, it's like nothing really changed in my life because I was working from home anyway. So it's like, it's time to socially distance yourself and stay home. It's like, okay, my life doesn't really change at all.
Yeah, school's closed. I'm seeing. Yeah, it's also I heard a lot of people in the Netherlands still have like school, even though school remotely, working on assignments.
Yeah, I wonder if how the school remotely thing is going, because I think like most schools are not already set up for it.
No, but they did it really fast.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people are also using Discord. My
Really?
brother-in-law is a teacher, yeah, and he uses Discord
Oh wow,
as
that's
a main communication platform. And I also saw that somebody posted on our Discord before that Discord set up this like server template for teachers, let's say, that has like some preset channels and stuff like that. And they also extended their what's it called? Go live feature or something, where you can just live stream right away. It's basically just live streaming for 50 people, which is good for a class, I guess.
yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's delve into it. I'm seeing a question from Hamburger Deli. Will the Wooting one use rapid trigger? Today we're going to talk a little bit about rapid trigger, so
Yes.
then we'll get into your question. So today we really wanted to talk a little bit about the whole COVID-19 virus, and then we want to jump into the Remap feature that is now currently in alpha, and we received a lot of feedback, and we implemented some of that feedback already, and it's something cool we can show a little progress. We want to talk about the whole Lekker keyboard and the project and how that's going on, and that we finish it with the rapid trigger.
Yes.
Yeah, and then all the way at the end we have like an open Q&A for all your questions. So it's still this new format Carla introduced. Yeah. So let's get going with the little Corona update. And this is something Carl and I, we talked about it in the last 2 or 3 live streams already. The impact it had on our business, and now even when it's now in Europe pretty active, and in the rest of the world, it's getting traction, so to say. What is the impact on us and on you guys? So a good thing in it is that China is sort of up and running again. So we can continue and push forward the production of the whole Lekker keyboard, and even have a new production of the wrist rest, because the full size wrist rests are already sold out, I guess. Yeah. So sadly there was like little delay, but they're currently being produced, and then they'll probably come by boat, I'm guessing, because airplane stuff is like unpayable at the moment.
Yeah, it's really, really expensive. But I think the full size recess is not entirely sold out yet, because there's still like a boat shipment coming in the EU.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that one. Probably customs very busy at this moment.
Yeah. Anyway, and I think everybody here doing this live stream is probably affected, or not affected, but affected by the coronavirus or COVID-19 virus.
Yeah, definitely in some way.
Yeah. I think personally for us, it doesn't matter that much. Like Jeroen said, he's working from home. we are all working remotely, so we won't infect one another. And of course,
it also doesn't really affect our way of working at all.
No,
it's pretty interesting.
No, true. Yeah, so we were COVID-19 proof before it even was a thing.
Pandemic proof.
Pandemic proof. But yeah, and this is just something probably everybody knows. But be sure to wash your hands when you go out. Don't touch your face like I just did.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I can literally see you I can literally see you touching your face when you say that.
Yeah. Yes, that was kind of dumb.
So that is the touching face. That's a real difficult part.
Yeah, it goes so. Yeah, it's pretty easy. And of course, wash your keyboard from time to time. You know, take your keycaps off, put them in a little bit of soapy water, or clean them with alcohol, and clean the rest of your keyboard a little bit, because it's nice if you wash your hands, but still some virus or some other bacteria can come onto your keycaps and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, and it's good to do so anyway. And I think a lot of people probably have some more free time to do extra stuff now anyway. So
yeah, and Daryl is currently working on a little blog post how you can wash your keycaps and make sure your keyboard is at least corona proof.
Do it the right way.
Do it the right way.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm just hoping everybody is safe and everybody takes their own precautions, whatever is necessary.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's go a little bit through the comics. Comments.
Sure.
This one.
Yeah, Discord. Yeah, Discord. They definitely make a big move. Big move with adjusting to the teachers, because, like you said, the kids are using it anyway. And with my brother-in-law, it's the same. So he's a teacher and he started using it, and the kids are basically teaching him how to set it up.
Okay.
See, Captain, are we doing questions? Wait, so you said new format, right? I'm not too familiar with the new format. Do we still do questions in the meantime, or is it just we shifted all to the very end?
We try to do the questions within the topics. So the next topic will be the remap feature, and that's where the question from Captain comes into play, because it's something you can set up now with the new remapping feature. And maybe we can talk a little bit about the USB-C cables during the Lekker update.
All right, sure.
So let's delve into the whole remap feature, because there isn't that much. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So as a quick introduction, we've been working on the remap, which is basically change your keys to different keys. No, that's a terrible explanation. Change the functionality of your keys. So swap around your caps lock, shift, or whatever function key you want. And we released an alpha, I think, 2 weeks ago, maybe even 3. I'm not 100% sure. It might even be 3.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of feedback, like a lot. And that's why we kind of took our time to go through every single bit. And we made a big list. We had a list of 30 improvements or so.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just been running through them one by one. And so before we dive into that, we're just gonna so the plan for it is to just do another closed alpha release first, because we're a little bit afraid that if we just put it to beta right away, that changes will still be too big. And because I think a lot of people are waiting for it, so it will also probably be a lot of new people jumping into beta straight away and screwing up whatever, and help desk getting overrun. So that's why we just want to keep it in alpha first.
True.
Just this whole get one more feedback round, and maybe I expect there to still be some changes, but a lot less, and hopefully more focus on just improvements and bugs instead of more major changes. And then we can definitely move to beta pretty fast, I think. So that's the plan.
Yes. Nice.
All right.
So here it is. What's different? What's different in the remap? Well, I think visually the biggest change is there used to be here in the bottom right corner a storage feature where you could sort of store your keys, drag them towards there, and have them as sort of a safe keep. You don't have to just sort of put your key to the side and use it later. And it turned out when we were playing with it, we barely used it, and people in the alpha also didn't really use it, only for some edge cases. So we thought like, hey, it was a very cool idea, but yeah, we removed it because it didn't add any value to the whole remap feature. A very cool thing we just implemented is, for example, here the special characters. There are all these different icons, right? And maybe you don't know what it is. Well, now if you hover over it, you have a nice tooltip. So this opens your calculator, this opens the file browser, this opens the media player. What's this? It's play pause. Wow, it's so cool.
Wow.
System power, system sleep, increase keyboard brightness. Yeah. So this is a pretty cool feature. And if you wait long enough, then there aren't any tooltips. But as soon as you hover over them, the tooltips come back. And some other keys will have tooltips, like for example this FN key. It's called function, the right control, insert, scroll lock, print screen, numlock. And we discussed it, but adding this to like every key, that's sort of pointless. So, I mean, what's there to say about the A key, right? I mean, an A is an A. So we only implemented tooltips where we thought these were necessary. Another pretty cool feature is with the presets. So we have multiple presets that you can already just click it and all your keys will be overridden on your keyboard. But now you can actually see what changes. So for example, if I choose this throw rack layout, I can see which characters change around compared to the layout I currently have. And the same goes for lead speak and ABC. And it's pretty neat because you have like a quick overview of what's actually changing to your layout.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more intuitive, I think.
So what else is there?
And function layer. Yeah, it's called function layer. Second layer is no more. So when we started, we called the main layer and function layer just first layer and second layer, I think.
Yeah.
And based on the feedback we gathered, it was like function layer makes more sense because that's what we always kind of use, and it's also like the function key. So even though technically we might be able to support more layers in the future, especially with the Lekker keyboard where you have more memory inside your keyboard, we still choose to just go for the main and function layer to just be more intuitive and more in line with what we've been using so far. Yeah, so second layer is no more.
Yes.
And then analog profile 3. I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. Yeah. What about analog RGB key swapping? I'm not really sure what that means.
Okay, but let's get into the question we had before we jumped into the topic. If it was now possible to also lock your right Windows key, and what you can do is go to your function layer, search for the key lock key, and just drag it to position, and now you have this key lock feature on the key as well. So now essentially we locked our right Windows key. And we can lock any key. So if you want, we can lock the spacebar, but it doesn't really make that much sense. But it's not possible to lock multiple keys the way you want it.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure how we can make this better, because you kind of have to switch between layers to sort of indicate like, hey, I wanna lock this one, but then it's like, let's say you want to pick a key in the middle, right? Like, let's say, and you switch to let's say you want to do the H, and then you switch to the function layer, but then it's like, okay, which key is it exactly? And then you have to switch back and forth to see if they're aligned or not.
Yeah.
So that's still a bit tricky, but this is, I mean, it solves most use cases, but then it's not the most user friendly yet. But then, we'll see. Maybe we'll get more feedback in the future about this.
Maybe we should add a function that if you middle mouse button a key, then you have like a little lock in the top right corner. That means you can lock the key. Wow.
Yeah. Or if you just drag it on the first layer, it will just go to the second layer.
Yeah, but then it's also kind of weird because the key lock looks similar to all other keys, and how will you differentiate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So this is something like it's so interesting, the whole remap thing. When we had this idea a while ago, you worked on it a little bit on and off, and we had this concept. But as soon as we actually started working on it, there were like all these little things and problems and issues and challenges we had to overcome on coding wise and UX wise. And it's like as simple as like a keylog, what challenges there are, how you can make it clear and simple for everyone.
Yeah, it's a bit weird looking at it now, where you feel like, oh, everything makes sense, right? But then I do remember talking about it a lot, like how to deal with all these like little things, let's say. But then pretty happy with, very, very happy with how it's turning out.
And also thinking about a use case, right, in gaming. So maybe you want to lock your left Windows key. Another thing that you can do is actually search for a more obscure key like F18 or F19. Drop it actually on these Windows keys. And then in your function layer, you just add your left window key on here. So that you can access it with function Windows lock. If you still want to use Windows key. So it's not actually locked, but it's like in your second layer. So there are multiple things how you can tackle the same problem, depending on how you want to use it. And it's pretty cool.
When do you think it will ship? So we are about to release our second alpha version, which is still a closed version. And after that, I think we should be able to move to a public beta within 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't paying that much attention to the chat, but let's see.
Can you write a key to no input? Yeah, you can just take a key and just drop it anywhere to remove. We're also thinking about adding a right-click to remove in line with how we've done key bindings in in the other menu.
Yeah, so let's say I want to remove this left arrow, I just can pick it up, drag it off the keyboard, and then it's removed, and it's just a blank key. Maybe we should also add a blank key here somewhere on the special characters.
Oh, so you can just,
But right-clicking is even, it makes more sense to right-click it.
I think so. Yeah. So you can finally start laying the work and just switch to other layers no matter what PC I'm on. Yes. Yeah. You can just switch you can just use a completely different layout on the function layer, and then just lock the layout whenever you wanna try learning a different layout, for example.
Yeah. So it's pretty convenient to have just your regular layout on your default, and then on your function layer you just add the lead speak layer, and then you're golden, right?
Yeah.
And now you can lead speak and have a normal keyboard at the same time. Doesn't get any better than that.
And that's impossible.
Impossible. Yeah. So
is it possible to use Remap to switch profiles live and fast in game? I mean, you can so of course just use the normal analog profile 1, 2, and 3 keys. But I assume I'm not sure if you're talking about something else.
Well, if you want it faster, and let's say you play with WASD, you can move them towards your 1, 2, or 3 keys, right? If you're really into that kind of stuff. So sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. The only limit. Creativity is your imagination. What did you say again?
The only limit is your own imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Alright, see you later, guys. Bandwidth being drained. Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else to say about remapping? I mean, there's still some bugs we need to fix.
Wait, let me see. Let me quickly take up the list to see if there's any other interesting changes we did.
I think the one on top of my mind, the one I messed up doing my last push and pull, is this one, the 0 key of the numpad that's a bit shifted to the right, which is annoying.
Oh.
That's.
Let's see. You can remap it. I think. This is all. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff just more of the, just little bugs out there and a few small functional differences like we show here.
And even if you guys have some cool ideas for new layouts, then be sure to let us know so we can make more presets for you. That's also pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if it's anything specific you want to see, then
can't unsee the 0 now. You jinxed it.
I know.
The function layer digital or else analog. It's it's digital, I guess. I mean, it depends on how you want to. It's just another layer of normal keys. Let's just call it that. So it's just like how you use the function key to do your media keys, for example. So just imagine that same idea, but then you can function plus any key. Yeah.
Tycho layout. Just find ZXCV in the left, middle right, and right of the keyboard, so you can just smash it. Wow. I also don't understand, but great input with the OS. Perfect. Thanks. Yeah, great. So I think that's it for the remap. So soon, like Jeroen said, there will be a new closed alpha, and hopefully the feedback from there is like very minimal, and then we can push it into beta, open beta, and everybody can play around with it, and hopefully we catch more bugs and.
Give me 1 second.
And maybe people can even come up with some new cool features, or even more presets. For like the taiko drum games, you see crazy Asian people play very well. Okay, well, I'm sure after live stream I'll search, look into it, the whole taiko drum game. Yeah, so that's Jeroen is thinking.
Oh, the taiko drum games? Is that the one with the? Is that the one with the blue and the red, and you smack in the middle or on the side? It's an insanely fun game.
It's very cartoony. If I not
yes, yeah, I love that one. Oh, is it taiko no? Okay. Yeah, I think we. Alright, sorry. Yeah, got distracted. Oh yeah. This game is great. This is what we need in our life. Hey, Franzolter, what's up? All right, so that's remapping then.
That's remapping. So let's get into the gist of it, the whole Lekker update. What is currently going on, Jeroen?
With what?
Lekker, the whole Lekker keyboard, Lekker project, Lekker switches, Lekker keycaps.
Lekker. So let me think what is going on. So I think mainly trying to see where we can pick up again. That's so I think when it comes to stuff in China, like it seems they have survived the biggest hit, and factories are definitely back to work and everything. So figuring out our production situation now, and how to get the Lekker switch progress to continue as fast as possible.
Yeah.
That's I think that's when it comes to like technical development situation, and that's the stage we're at. It's like, okay, China is back to work. Let's move again as fast as possible, because I think, that was definitely it's hard to imagine or it's hard to see the exact impact now, but definitely some impact. That's for sure. And it's just like, okay, how fast can we get the switch process going again? Yeah, and so that's the keyboard itself. And then something we've been working on this week is, because the keycaps factory was back to work very, very fast, so we were just able to focus a bit on the keycaps. And there's this one very, very cool thing we've been working on, which I can see some people in the chat already picked up, which is the snack bar. And of course, neither you and I have a sample of that one.
Oh, no, I have it.
Do you have one?
It's on my screen. Here, I even have two.
Oh, yeah. So this is the snack bar. I think it was first kind of announced with an Instagram post that was very popular. And of course, it has the best name ever imaginable for a keycap. And there's a big secret we can all tell you guys all now. First time here ever on the live stream.
Nah, second time.
The second time. It's not a real secret, but it's the second time ever announced, which is that every Lekker pre-edition will get a free extra snack bar.
Free.
Yes.
That's pretty
free.
Cool.
in your box. So you just get your normal spacebar. If you don't like this, I don't know why you wouldn't like this, but let's say you don't like this. You don't have to use it, but you get an extra one.
Yeah.
And it's very cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we showed it during the live stream, and I think it was Empty Inside Miro, Empty Inside Myra, who named it the snack bar, and we liked it, and then we did an Instagram post, and everybody loved it, and then we thought like, hey, let's make something, because this was just an experiment to see how the dice up would be on a very small scale, on a bigger surface, and if the factory was able to do it. But we liked it, you guys liked it, and because everybody still has to wait for the whole Lekker Edition and the keyboard, we thought like, hey, let's give everybody an extra and give them a free snack bar with it, which is really cool.
Free Lekker gift, Lekker snack bar gift. Yes. 0 calorie.
But why is it free, Jeroen?
Why is it free?
So this is something Kalle has been working on. We also want to start selling these separately, starting probably within the next 2 weeks. So if you don't have a Lekker keyboard, but you still want a snack bar, you can actually purchase these individual within 2 weeks. Still, you have to wait a while before there's a production, because these spacebars will be produced at the same time as the Lekker Edition. So you have to wait a few months, but at least you can also order them if you really like the snack bar, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's not all. That's not all we're launching, right?
No. Let me see.
Well, we're such a good duo.
Such a good duo. Luckily, we have everything prepared. Let's see. I just had it here. Is this correct? Yes. No. I'm missing one picture.
I wish Wooting were to wrap this up more. Don't worry, dude. It will happen. We just reel people in, and then we suck them dry. That's all we do.
We suck everybody dry. Let's see. Okay. Did I mess it up? Yes, I messed it up. Oh. Just have to organize my pictures because I don't want to reveal too much. So another thing we are also going to sell separately are these modifier keys, and this is actually called the snack bag, and has like all these little icons on them, from a rookworst to a milkshake, candy, hamburger, ice creams, chocolate cakes, milk. It's a pretty cool set, and these are like the arrow keys and the modifier keys. These are compatible with ANSI and ISO keyboards. And this is also pretty fun set. And you don't get these with the Lekker Edition. It's just a set.
These are very unique.
Yeah, and this is also like a very limited edition, because we will probably only make about 400, 500 of these.
Yeah, definitely no more than 500.
Yeah, and when it's up, it's up.
Up is up.
Up is up. Yeah, and these are also like
snack mat, a matching desk mat. Maybe one day.
Maybe
Who
one
knows?
Day. Maybe one day. So these are also like your big fat PBT dice sublimated keycaps.
Yes.
But this time with Unicolor, and these are all your modifier keys. Which
but
cool.
this is new.
This is new. This is. I don't even think, did we ever show them on stream?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
To be honest, I didn't even really know we were doing this until this week.
Surprise!
Yeah.
So I grabbed some off the table. So I have like a little hamburger focus. Yeah, pretty neat. Very sharp dice sublimation. I'm still impressed by the quality.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Yeah, and my all-time favorite. This is like the rookworst. I think only mostly Dutch people, maybe Belgian people understand the reference.
Yeah.
Maybe German people.
I guess German people will definitely understand this one.
Well, it looks like a sausage, right? But it's not a sausage, it's a rookworst.
Yeah.
Nice. It's the Dutch pride. Yeah. The color is different for yours, Eric. Yeah, I mean, probably the white balance here in my thing is different, because see, this also sort of faded out, and these colors are faded out, and I think if I turn up the white balance or the color intensity a little bit on my webcam, I just get completely red for some reason. I don't want to be a red tomato on a live stream. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. And also the full. So we'll have 3 things coming up, which is the snack bar, the snack bag, and then also the full set, right?
Yeah. So we had a lot of people asking us if they could actually purchase the keycaps for the Lekker Edition separately, and yeah, we got so many requests for it that we thought like, hey, let's also offer them separately. And I'm not sure if how many we will produce. I think it's probably we just open it for pre-order until the time we have an actual production, and then we close it, and then we make everything a little bit extra. So how much
will the snack bag be? I'm not sure.
Well, I know.
Is the price already final?
I'm not sure if it's final, but I can just look it up what there currently is up to offer.
Okay, while you look up, quickly jump through this question from Search Race. I just started watching this update on the Lekker delivery date. We don't have like a new delivery date, but we just said that China. We can notice that China is moving again, and we're trying to pick it up as soon as possible. And when we're back in the process, we can give a proper update.
Yeah.
You can imagine there's a lot unknown at the moment.
So,
but then China is definitely a lot better than around the EU and NA.
Yeah. It's for us. It's not really difficult to give a final date, but we're sort of close with negotiations about production dates and pricing and that kind of stuff. So we have more info on it sooner. So the snack bar. So these are the current prices. Maybe they change. So if everybody's like, "Whoa, this is like super expensive," maybe it gets cheaper. And if everybody's
like, more expensive next week, then Calder did something.
So if everybody says like, "Whoa, this is so cheap," that it's gonna be more expensive because Calder's gonna.
Yeah.
No, but these are the current prices. So the snack bar will be $14.99 $, but that includes shipping. So it's actually free shipping. Then we have the snack bag. That will be $23.99, so €24 or $.
That's not pretty good.
That's a pretty good deal, right? And it's also included free shipping. It includes shipping, free shipping. It has free shipping. And if you buy them together, like the snack bag and the snack bar, then it's totally €35. So you save €5.
Alright.
And still with free shipping. The Lekker keycaps, that's a bit of a different story. Those will be €45 for the whole set. And that's only the base version with the ANSI and ISO. And the language kit is an extra €10, where you get like all the keys to make it a German, German compatible, Nordic compatible.
So the basic will just be UK ISO or English, or like the
English ISO. So it's close.
So not like full UK ISO, right?
It's very close to the UK ISO. But it's not actually the same. It has some minor differences.
All right, then we have one cheap for the PBT keycaps, 45. So next week it's going to be 49. Let's see what people think then.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So with the language kit, you can actually make it into a UK ISO, German ISO, Nordic ISO, and Spanish ISO. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You can pay either toilet paper, 2 bags of flour, homemade pizza, or hand sanitizers. Homemade hand sanitizers.
Yes, and homemade toilet paper. No, so I think these prices are fair. I mean, if you look at it sounds expensive, for just some plastic junk, €45. But then again, you get like a whole set of dye-sublimated PBT keycaps.
Don't call a whole set of plastic junk.
No, I mean, some people would argue it. But let's say you would compare these keycaps to other dye sublimated PBT keycaps. It's actually, pretty cheap. I mean, sure, there are cheaper PBT sets, but these are like, the China Legends with the open casing.
It's good, yeah. Did I miss if the snack pack needs to be bought separate? So the Lekker keyboard pre-order includes the snack bar, which is their space bar with the extra print as a bonus.
So everybody gets this one for free if you order the Lekker Edition.
Yeah, and then the snack pack is a separate product.
Yeah, and those are only include the modifier keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty slightly used toilet paper. So that's something I'm also excited for. It's just like we're not gonna make it like a very big countdown thing, but when we launch it, we will inform everybody all through Discord or through email that you can actually purchase it. And probably the snack bars, we can have it in a limited supply. So let's say if 10,000 people want it, we can actually make 10,000 pieces. But the modifier keys is pretty limited to 400 or 500 pieces.
Cool. We'll take it all.
And I'm again touching my face. Stop it. And that's, I think, which includes the whole Lekker update. I mean, we're making progress currently because China is open again, and we'll have more information on it soon. Probably before the next live stream. There will be a.
What did you have there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Probably before the next live stream, we have some more dates that are close to final when actually everything will happen.
Yeah.
Did the current new Wooting 2 support a Type C to C cable, or still not? No, it will actually be a Type C from your keyboard to a USB-A.
I think Rocky's talking about the change of the cable inside the keyboard, which should have been changed in your production, but they still had like a old supply they had to go through. So I don't know the exact date, but we did like push it through.
I have a whole shipping container of snack bags. Don't ask me where I got it. Okay, I'm not gonna ask you then.
Oh, Quintus talks about ask about the Wooting socks. What happened to the Wooting socks?
Yeah, it's I will look at it after live stream. Let's see where they're at, the socks.
Where they at?
Because it's actually not Carl's responsibility; it's my responsibility. So if you're waiting, don't blame Carl, don't blame me. Well, talking about intercepting ships, it's a bit off topic, but wrist rests. The boat takes so long.
Wrist what?
Yeah, it takes so long with the boat. Like the boat is sort of lost at sea.
Yeah, boat lost at sea. No, it should have arrived. So I think in the EU we have. While we're talking about it, people in chat, what are you guys? How many of you have the wrist rest, and what do you think about it?
Let's all do a wrist rest wave. Woo!
Yeah. Quick feedback round. And while that's coming in, so in the EU, the full size black version is sold out, and we're waiting on the new shipment to come in, which I think the boat is already there, and the customs it's at customs. I'm not sure, not 100% sure. Yeah,
it's a bit hectic now in
good.
Europe.
Love it.
Yeah, we also had a few reviews already in the EU store and US store, and most of them, everybody was positive. So I really liked it. Restwork, right?
Yeah, Restwork. That's
true.
They really enjoying them. Yeah. I think it's good, of course, that you guys also agree, because we were like, sometimes you just have a very good feeling about a product, and I think this one, like from how we imagined it to feel, and how the design process went, and how it also turned out, and how it feels, and how it is to the touch, and how sturdy it is, and the packaging, I think it was all like very on point with how we envisioned. And it's also happy to see that when people actually use it, because that's of course what it's for, that it's also in line with the vision, let's say.
Yeah.
So very, very happy with this whole thing overall.
Kevin did a really great job on the whole wrist rest project, because this was like his first Wooting baby he made, the first of many, and I'm very pleased with it.
Yes, I have a couple and use them every day. Why do you have a couple?
Well, one for your feet, one for your wrist, one for your neck.
Yeah. I like a lot having removed it from my desk, like every other wrist rest I've ever gotten. Good.
What are you gonna do about all the homeless carpal tunnel? Because we were stressed.
Yeah, we'll support the carpal tunnel.
We support the carpal tunnels. We fight against the carpal tunnel. How many wrist rests does a person have? Well, you need at least 2, right? One for your left and one for your right wrist.
So you haven't considered making a pack including a snack bar, snack pack? So we're gonna make a pack with like snack bar and snack pack. Is it snack pack or snack bag?
Snack bag. So it's a snack bar and a snack bag, but maybe combined it's a snack bag. I don't know. So we now have a slight discount on the thing, but the thing is, maybe we will have I should discuss with Carl like a more overarching deal with the full set, the snack bar and the snack bag. But the thing is, the snack bag and snack bar will be shipped from Taiwan, so Carl will ship them himself. That's why it's free shipping. It's a lot cheaper. And the big set, we need a different packaging for. That's also why it's a bit more expensive, because it needs to include packaging.
Yeah.
And we need to ship it from Europe or either the US.
So we can't like really ship it as a combo anyway.
No, we cannot ship it as a combo. So maybe there will be a nice deal. All of it. That's something we have to discuss with Carl, but I doubt that there's like a big deal with if you purchase everything.
Yeah. Snack sock.
Snack socks. Okay. So let's go into the final topic of the live stream. The rapid trigger update. Rapid trigger? Rapid trigger. It was funny because Carlo worked on a blog about rapid trigger. It's now also live on blog.wooting.io. Is it blog at wooting.io? I don't know. .io. It's all the same. So it's a pretty cool blog post. It goes a little bit in depth about rapid trigger and just a little demo showcase of it. And it was actually funny because when I was thinking about a cover picture, I googled for the first time rapid trigger. And you know what rapid trigger is?
No.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Really?
Yeah.
Have we never googled rapid trigger before?
No, have you?
We should.
Have you ever?
No,
right? So it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Who knew?
Human.
Who knew?
I didn't know.
It's pretty cool, right?
That is cool.
So let's go a little bit into rapid trigger and what is rapid trigger. So rapid trigger is a feature that will be in the at least in the Lekker Edition, and this also was a question, if I remember correctly, if it will be available in Wooting 1 or Wooting 2.
Yeah.
Will it be available, Jeroen?
I'm not sure yet. It's kind of dependent on how our implementation is going to look like in the end, and how, if it's easy to port it port it back, let's say. But no guarantees. Still a lot of ifs, sadly.
Yeah. But we will actually do our best to actually make it work on a Wooting 1 or Wooting Wooting keyboard.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Then we also had like the idea to use the utility as a sort of engine for all different things. Could this be a thing, or is this more keyboard related?
It's definitely more keyboard and switch related. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we have to figure some stuff out. Maybe it should be the same as Tachyon mode, right? That you sort of skip a few features like the RGB, make some room to activate rapid trigger. But it's something we still have to figure out. But the general idea for rapid trigger is normally when you would activate a traditional key switch, whether it's a cherry or currently still a FlareTech switch, it has a certain reset point and a active point. And once you hit the active point, the key stays active until you hit the reset point again. With rapid trigger, you can put the reset dynamically. So as soon as you move your key up again, the key can be resetted. So you can actually mesh the key on the whole range wherever you want, and it still activates. So you get a lot more where you can achieve a lot more input speeds or input actions. Is that the word? In general,
so, yeah.
You will probably have more inputs. And Carlo made like a very nice video here about explaining it, and he actually a difference between a cherry switch and the Lekker switch with rapid trigger on the cherry on the Lekker switch and normal key activation on the cherry switch. You can actually see the difference, which is pretty cool. So be sure to check out the blog post to go a little bit more in depth.
There's a YouTube comment. On the video, there's a YouTube comment.
There is?
And somebody says, "Thank you, but we are not stupid. We already understood this in your previous post."
Well, we still get questions from time to time. That's why we never went in depth into the whole rapid trigger thing, so I think it's good that we did. You cannot be informed enough. Plus, we need to scrape all the SEO before other people jump onto it.
Yeah, I think also, like, especially if you follow us a lot, if you follow some things a lot, like in this case, like keyword development, for example, it can be easy to just think like, oh, we already know all of this. But then there's also a lot of people that are, like, they just occasionally want an update, and then these kind of things are very nice.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, I just want to read about this thing in a separate format. The 0mm is not literally; it's just an indication.
Yeah.
But you're right; it will not activate at 0.
No.
Because now it also says active at rest, which is, I guess, technically incorrect. But
true. Well, it's this is part of the video, right?
Is this a shadow account of Rocky?
Yeah. So it's like Tino says, it's more of an illustration than actually the.
Yeah. But definitely no activation at 0mm.
Yeah. So the thing is, what's actually the use of it? How can you become a better gamer or better typist with it? The general gist is we try to find like a very specific use case, like, oh, this game really benefits from it, and besides, like, oh, mash your spacebar the most of the times within 60 seconds, those kind of games. Sure, you have a lot of spammy games where you need to have fast inputs. It will benefit you, but overall, in general, this benefits gaming just in general, because you can react a tiny bit quicker, and you have a bit more control over when keys are active or when they are resetted. So there isn't like this game you get like 10 times better because of rapid trigger. It's like you get a little bit better in every game once you understand and learn to use rapid trigger inside almost any game. It has its own benefits there. Stupid question, but is there an easy way to turn off your Windows key on the Wooting 2 or in the utility? Yeah, you can just press function and Windows key at the same time, and then it's locked or turned off. Yeah.
Would it be possible to set it to activate at 0mm? Well, I mean, 0mm technically is always active, but then definitely like a 0.3 or 0.2. It's like, oh, you barely touch it and it activates kind of idea. That's definitely something we want to go for.
Yeah. So it's pretty, it's pretty cool. And this is coming to every Lekker keyboard and hopefully to Wooting 1 and Wooting 2 keyboards.
Yeah,
you can actually start mashing and spamming like crazy. Hello, Ron. I mean, that's sort of it. What I can say about rapid trigger. Just check out the blog, and if you have any questions, leave them in the blog, or just ask away.
Comment on the blog, comment on Discord,
wherever you want. And I think we sort of went through all our main topics. Fast. And now it's time.
That's pretty fast.
It's pretty fast, yeah.
So now it's Q&A time.
I
think we already did the question in between. I don't know how this format thing is supposed to work. I guess you save up questions for later.
No. Well, normally you try to only answer questions that belong to the topic. So answering the question about the Windows key was actually wrong. So hopefully Carlo doesn't see it. But now it's more time for an open Q&A, so everybody can ask anything about whatever you want.
Ask us anything.
And then the new topics or jibber jabber will float out.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
What did Caller do in this video? I didn't watch it yet.
What Caller's doing in the video?
Yeah.
Well, he's just spamming spacebar.
Oh, okay.
So with the comparison, you can actually see the comparison between a regular keyboard and a Lekker keyboard. And the first video, he just gently or simply explains what rapid trigger is.
Right, it's pretty cool. That's nice. With this fancy, what are they called again?
Fancy
keyboard.
Fancy keyboard.
Okay, so wasn't really paying attention. So yeah, will rapid trigger come to Wooting 1? Yeah, like we said before, we're still working on it. So we're not. It kind of depends on our because there's a difference in the switch between the Lekker switch and the FlareTech switch. So we still need to see if we can also port it successfully to the FlareTech switch. That's the main challenge we have. So we will try to backport port it in some way, but I think the experience will definitely be different than the Lekker switch.
Yeah, because you don't have full range, and I think we said it before. We said it multiple times in the past. But any new features that we can implement into the Lekker keyboard, we always will try to make it work on a Wooting 1 or Wooting 2, because we think like, hey, we made software, you guys supported us, and we should continue support for these keyboards for years to come. So these keyboards won't become obsolete, but at some point you will hit technical limitations, and once you hit the technical limitations, then you cannot. I don't see the Lekker t-shirt in an A store. No, because this is like an exclusive Lekker t-shirt.
Oh, this one, yeah.
It was for Computex last year.
I think I also have it on.
Really?
Thank you.
My whole wardrobe is also like Wooting t-shirts. Like
my whole wardrobe is Wooting t-shirts.
It's horrible. Actually, it's funny because actually pretty good quality these.
Yeah, the t-shirts are very good quality. The Color is a very good shop in Taiwan where he usually makes these for Computex.
Yeah.
And then they're very good.
And they last for years. It's funny.
Yeah. Okay, Erik, that's the snack bar have a potato. It decides whether or not he buys one.
Does the snack bar have potato? No. It doesn't have potato.
No potatoes.
No potato.
We don't like potato there. We only like hamburgers and rookworsten. Do you know what's the flow of selling Lekker switches separately going to be? Just the switches, or are you going to support it with a pre-built PCBA? I think to start with, we'll definitely only work together with people to develop it. So meaning we'll just, if there's like small, so we want to start with just like small keyboard makers or people with at least like some, I would say, some experience, so that we can just say, okay, you need this layout, and this is how you position the switches, and this is, I guess we can also just give them the sensors and the switches in the kit. So that will be, I guess, how we can work with smaller keyboard vendors to get sort of PCB kits out there. But then when it comes to just separate PCBs, I mean, I guess we can make them for like a standard 60% format. So, or maybe support making them in a 60% standard format, so you can just put them in a compatible case. But still a lot up in the air. We have, I think, like 2, let's say, serious projects running now with the Lekker switch. They're not even small keyboard makers; they're more hobbyists. And we kind of see how that one will go. And I think after we actually have the product live, and we also have stock of the switches and stock of the sensors, because that's all, we don't have that at all yet. So this other guy that has been working on something, we just sent him some sample switches, and that's all we have. So there's still some figuring out to do that.
Yeah.
But then there are a lot of options.
This has been asked before, but can Lekker switch be used in the Wooting 1 too? No, they actually can. Because the Wooting 1 and Wooting 2 uses FlareTech switches, and the technology on the PCB is different. Where FlareTech switches uses infrared light, the Lekker switches uses a Hall effect, which actually works with magnets and sensors. So you would need a different PCB to make the switches compatible with a Wooting 1 or Wooting 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sadly enough, it isn't interchangeable.
Yeah.
Victoron, do you...
Oh, what happened?
Oh, nothing. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you feel that there is some functionality still missing from Wooting keyboards? Is there anything missing? That's an actual good question.
It is a good question. I mean, we have like a list of, we definitely have a list of ideas and futures. I think from the top of my mind, highest priority is definitely just switch in general. A good stable analog switch, which is what we envision the Lekker switch to be. That's number one priority. But that's something we're actively working on at the moment. And I guess when it comes to hardware, just having more keyboard options in general, experimenting with different keyboard form factors and different keyboard constructions to be able to have like different typing experience or different sound, that kind of stuff. And then when it comes to software, there's a lot of things, just better analog support in general.
That's, I think, also my biggest thing, because I like our keyboards in general. We're missing maybe some form factors here and there, but actually the software part, right? So where it will be like native, available in different games instead of mimicking a Xbox controller. That would be really cool if developers would actually make their games more compatible with analog keyboards. And I think it's something we still are working towards. And when more manufacturers make analog keyboards, it becomes more of a standard within the keyboard world. And then game developers will actually jump on these bandwagons and join the whole analog movement. So it's just a matter of time before it will be a more standard within the gaming industry.
Yeah, definitely. And then outside of analog, I would say just more. I think when it comes to development, just more options when it comes to RGB customization. That will be very nice, like a better RGB SDK. And then definitely want to be able to experiment more with open source, but that's I put a lot of that in Discord actually last week. So if you're interested in reading more of the software part, I made a post in Discord I think last week somewhere in utility feedback. So there's more details about the software part specifically, because there was a lot of discussion about it last week, which is very nice.
Yeah. So EU keyboards come with extra keycaps. Does the US version also come with extra keycaps for alternate logos or emojis? I think you're referring to the Lekker Edition. And the extra keycaps they're actually getting are just a smaller... the small ships included. Just some different characters on some legends, just to make super cool stuff. It's just like the default to make it compatible within their language, and it's also something that won't be included in the US version. But you will have. Will you have some extra ISO keys? No, I don't think so. No, it's only the ISO version.
No.
Are there any plans to get some review Lekker keyboards out to some reviewers to gain more attention to the Lekker Switch for future projects that use them? Well, when we started the whole project last year, we had a whole different vision of the whole timeline and how everything would go. And currently we'd have some kind of a beta period where people could actually test the whole Lekker keyboard, but because of certain circumstances, sort of all postponed. And one part was to get some keyboards out there to reviewers, but not for them to keep it, but just to review them and get sort of the word out there. And I think because the whole Lekker Edition is a special edition, it's kind of a waste, in my opinion, to send them to reviewers, because they just review it, they look at it, and then they put it in the closet, and then they be done with it. So we try to keep it as exclusive as possible, the whole Lekker keyboard. And in the future, there will be a standard version with Lekker switches in there of the Wooting 2 and the Wooting 1. Of Lekker switches. So maybe one or two reviewers will actually get the Lekker Edition?
Yeah, we definitely have some reviewers in mind that have like, that we just like working with, because I think for a lot of reviewers it's more...
Only if you're positive about us.
No. Yeah, well, yes. I mean, yes. No, it's more like a lot of reviewers, they just kind of put in their video what you want them to, and that's not really that useful for the feedback on our Switch. But we do have a few reviewers that they're not necessarily the biggest one, but then the amount of feedback they produce, and also the quality feedback we get from their customer base, that's definitely something we're more focused on.
So
and they have to think.
An example would be Kronosan or Thomas Gan.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool because he also made a video about the Flaretic switches and about the Wooting one, how he liked it as a gaming keyboard. And I mean, we value his opinion, but it's also like scanning through the comments. It's a lot of feedback and interesting thoughts, and the audience and the community is very interesting to watch. And we'll be more focused to send it like this to those kind of people to get some proper better feedback. Keycaps with digital ink, customizable faces. I think it's done a few times before. It never worked out. There are some people actually working on it now, and they're not really a big success. There are some flaws there, so that's something that maybe will come, but it won't come anytime soon. How do you envision?
It's nice. I think it's nice for like the Elgato Stream Deck kind of application.
Yeah.
But then for normal keyboard, not so much.
Yeah, it's just difficult to get it actually to function and work properly on a mechanical keyboard. Do you envision the analog movement becoming big, and how are you moving towards that future? Well, actually, we think it will be. Well, we know it will be very big, because it's a next step for keyboards. The biggest thing is you won't sacrifice any of the current features. It only adds on top of it, and you can still, the whole technology still functions as a normal regular keyboard, but now you have a different and new dimension towards it. And I think when we started doing our first Kickstarter, we knew it would become big. I was still convinced that it will become big, and it's the next step. And at that time we still used the FlareTech technology. We sort of now saw that this Lekker switch technology and the Hall effect technology is just better in general, because of the whole full range of analog. So you have even more control over it. And you can also see it with some competitors, because Cooler Master has like a few keys in their keyboard analog with the MK, what was it, 851, and then the control pad is also out there, which like the little small device with 20 or 24 keys analog. It still uses infrared light. I think, was Razer doing anything with it?
Yeah, Razer has like an orb weaver like device, like a gamepad like device.
Yeah, true. And then you have like the Keystone from Input Club, and there are more of these initiatives working with analog technology. And I think we're sort of at a point where it's more of a race towards, who is the best technology? But there's also like a big part of, hey, how can we all work together to make like one big analog standard, so game developers can use it into the games, or application makers, because we focus on gaming because we are all gamers in general, and we like gaming, and we saw like, hey, there's a lot of potential outside of gaming, which is still sort of untouched, and that's something that will become more prevalent in the... We have a analog development kit where game developers can implement this into their game and have like raw analog values. I'm probably butchering the whole story here.
No, continue.
Yeah. So we have this kit that game developers can actually use, so you can get this raw input out of mimicking a joystick. And
are you dropping your audio sometimes, or is it just me?
I don't know.
It's probably me.
Maybe tune.
Yeah. Okay, the stream's looks okay.
Yeah. So we are. It's not like our main purpose at this moment to push the analog out there and make it the whole industry standard, but it's like very high in our priority list, and every opportunity we get, we work towards it in the next step. But at this point, we're sort of still swamped with the whole Lekker switches, because that's an even bigger step towards the analog standardization. And we just have to also see what are our competitors doing, what are they implementing, and it's pretty cool to see that some features we have on the utility, they are copying it or using it in a slightly different way. So I think a very interesting thing is the whole SteelSeries keyboard. I mean, theoretically, it's sort of analog, but they didn't make it analog. They just have like, oh, you have like now 3 steps of key activation, which is also a very interesting feature. And
they should have more steps. I'm not honestly sure.
Yeah, just
I have the keyboard. I just never tried it.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm very very excited, and I hope everybody here has a feeling who owns a Wooting that they actually added something towards the whole analog movement, and also seeing these other keyboards, popping up, and it's just great to see. I love it.
Yeah.
I just want to see more because the more keywords there are, the faster the standardization becomes.
Shark so the new fit with Rapid Lekker test seemed to be on a black shell instead of the blue shell. I'm not sure exactly which one color is using, but it might be that he is just using a Wooting 2 top plate. So yeah, it could be that he's just using a normal top plate, let's say.
Yes.
So don't look at that video for the color because it's a pretty low quality video in general.
Yeah, just for the rapid fire idea.
Yeah.
About the analog feature.
Yeah, when we do that one, did you have context to aimpad or input cup to create a unique standard? Did you ask the USB IF for a unique ID for analog keys?
Asking the real technical questions.
Of course. In general, we have like contact with aimpad or input club sometimes to just like keep each other up to date, like what we're doing. So we definitely want to move towards something together. But then after we finished the analog SDK, we kind of decided that. So when it comes to Wooting in general, we want to do like, of course, switch towards more support for analog keyboards. But then at one point we kind of realized like, hey, there's also this hardware limitation. That's one. And also we also need to survive as a business, let's say. So that's why right now we're just very heavily focused on the Lekker switch and also having more products. Because, if we as a business don't survive, then we cannot do anything at all. So that's, when it comes to, now we have the analog SDK, and then as soon as we have the Lekker switch out there and that up and running, then we can focus on the next step, which will be like what you said, like maybe something with USB IF, or if Input Club has their keyboard out by then work with them together on something.
Nicely said.
What?
Okay,
a lot of questions. That's good.
Let's do a few more questions.
We just round up?
Let's do so. Blast out your questions. These are going to be the last ones, and then we sort of wrap up the whole live stream. Okay. So the top plate. I'll do this one. So the top plate of Wooting 1 and Wooting 2 are compatible to the Lekker. To be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. I think no.
I'm also not 100% sure, because at one point we kind of figured out this potential issue where the top plate sizing might be a little bit different. But at the moment, what the exact conclusion was of that story, I'm not 100% sure. So I mean, it is compatible in a way that it has the same form factor. It's just that the hole sizing is a little bit different because the switch is a little bit different. Yeah. So we've been trying to like put that straight, pull that straight, like make it the same size, but then still work in progress. All right. Yeah. You take the questions.
Yeah. Carl will probably know this question better, so it's better to ask in the next live stream about the compatibility. Okay. What about programmable macros, recording input and playing at programming input from the utility? Yeah, macros. I mean, cool feature. It's also somewhere on the list, not very high, and maybe one day it will come. Jeroen? Yeah. Maybe, yes?
Yeah, in general, my feeling, but it is more of a personal thing about macros, is there are programs out there that do it a lot better than we can ever implement. And and biggest example is AutoHotkey, that can just pretty much do everything you would ever want out of a macro program. And with the new remapping feature, we did focus on adding keys that you can use to trigger those kind of macros, like the F13 to F24 keys, which are very often used.
Yep.
So that's and so macros, yes, at one point, just not really sure when. It's not a very high priority.
Okay, one thing I want to sort of jump into the whole macro thing, and the last live stream we talked about the Razer Chroma Connect and how a Wooting keyboard is now compatible with the Razer Chroma Connect. It was actually pretty funny because I was still not understanding that you needed an actual Razer device for it to work.
Yeah, you don't, right?
No, because I think it was Rocky or somebody else. They said like, hey, you don't need a Razer device. They changed it somewhere in November or December. And right after the live stream, I tested it out, and you don't actually need a Razer device. So that's pretty cool. I was surprised. I was misinformed. So getting back to it, you don't need a Razer device. You guys were right. I was wrong. It's still pretty cool, and it worked perfectly because I just connected it. The Razer Synapse recognized the Wooting keyboard, and I could use them dead cells, and it was pretty fun. And I played the whole day after the live stream. And then I was looking through the whole Razer Synapse program because it's like kind of bloated with all this crazy stuff. But their macros, it was actually pretty easy to set up macros with their tool.
Right, that's nice.
It's pretty cool how they implemented it. It's like, it's not perfect, and this is what Jeroen said. Like, if we want to have a proper macro function within the utility, it will take us a lot of better elsewhere. So I'm not saying we'll never be there in the utility. Maybe at some point. Sometimes I'm glitching my camera. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, you're cutting out in general.
But yeah, there are just better tools out there for the macros. Okay, these are going to be the last questions. Keys,
you're dropping out more and more. It's kind of hard to follow you now.
Okay. Really? Okay, well, maybe we should just end the live stream here. Bye.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, your audio is cutting out.
Okay.
All right, let me just answer these in chat real quick. Repost same as Wooting 1, 2. Then we have current recession. It's still okay. Production is back. Is it stable now?
I don't know. I have a feeling the more I talk, the more it glitches.
Yeah. You can notice it's less than normal. Does the 16? Okay, I think I'll just talk and we'll see. But does the 16 MB of memory on the Lekker Edition means that it'll maybe support more than 4 profiles? Yes. Yeah. Still figuring out the details, but that's definitely the goal. Okay, what's my first question about the status of the new USB cables for the Lekker and upgrade kit for the Wooting 1 already answered? I'm not sure what the question about the Lekker cable was. And upgrade kit, not sure yet. Okay, I think that's it.
Nice. Okay, well.
Oh, here. Wait, one more shark cell. I missed this one. On the Lekker keyboard, are the WASD higher rated keys or all the same? Will I be able to make any keys? They're all the same. Yeah, all the same.
Keeps also
asked, do you have a schematic?
You can release.
No, not yet. So I talked about this a bit early in the stream. Is how we work in general at the moment is if we have small keyword vendors or hobbyists with like their own with let's say an established skill set that already have experience making keyboards, we will work with them to create something together because we just want to get the experience first, and then from that point we can kind of see like, okay, what is the best way to support the keyboard community in general. And that can be either, okay, we just create PCBs that you can use in existing kits, or we release schematics so people can create their own stuff. That's up in the air still. We're not 100% sure what the best approach is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a fun live stream. Thanks everybody for your questions and interest. I had a blast. Stay safe, and I'm going to glitch out now.
Yeah, glitch away. All right.
Bye bye.